I have been analyzing the latest puzzle pieces falling into place around Andre Richardson, and I am absolutely terrified for the man. We all know that Andre has been acting incredibly paranoid lately. It started with that anonymous, chilling wedding gift left on his doorstep, a bottle of 2018 Louis Broussard champagne from France, accompanied by a cryptic note that had no signature. That alone was enough to send a shiver down his spine, but the situation has rapidly escalated into a full-blown psychological. Andre is currently being pushed into a corner, completely trapped by an unseen force, and is now being forced to attend a highly dangerous secret meeting. He is sweating bullets, refusing to go to the police, and desperately asking investigative journalist Smitty for off-the-books help to track a mysterious text message. But the true horror of this storyline is just beginning to reveal itself, and I am obsessed with where this is. So this makes me wonder, who exactly is pulling Andre's strings? Let us look at the facts. Andre was completely panicked when he received a photograph of his beautiful wife, Danny Dupree, sent directly to his phone from an unknown number. Imagine the sheer paralyzing terror washing over him in that exact moment. He is staring at a picture of his wife, realizing that whoever is stalking him is close enough to touch her. But the sender of this photograph was not his wife. No, the sender is someone far more sinister, someone who is currently infiltrating their inner circle right under their noses. My theory is that the person orchestrating this entire nightmare is none other than Heather. Yes, Joey Armstrong's sister, and more importantly, the ruthless, bloodthirsty leader of the international plasma ring known as the Impaler. Let us break this down piece by piece. Just the other day, we watched an incredibly tense and seemingly innocent scene unfold at Uptown. Danny and Vanessa McBride were sipping mimosas, gloating about Haley Hamilton's suspected affair. Then, Heather Armstrong conveniently crashes their little get-together. Heather plays the role of the ultimate fangirl perfectly. She acts completely starstruck by the famous model Danny Dupree and smoothly asks for a selfie. But do you remember the chilling details she added? When Danny told her to tag her on social media, Heather explicitly stated that she did not want the photo she wanted it for something much more private. I am absolutely convinced that Heather wanted to take that selfie with Danny for one specific diabolical reason: to send it directly to Andre to drive him completely insane. Heather is a master manipulator, a woman who runs an international crime syndicate out of London. She does not do anything by accident. By sending Andre a selfie featuring his own wife smiling happily next to his worst nightmare, Heather is sending a loud, terrifying message. I am here. I have access to your family. You cannot hide from me. Heather is toying with Andre like a cat playing with a wounded mouse, and he is in a state of extreme, suffocating panic. But that is not all. We have to ask ourselves why Heather is targeting Andre in the first place. What is the connection between a high-fashion photographer and a ruthless underground crime boss? Andre recently confessed to Ted Richardson that he is terrified that his hidden past from Europe is finally catching up with him. He specifically mentioned the dark, chaotic period in his life following the tragic plane crash that killed his parents. Andre was in Europe, grieving, spiraling, and engaging in reckless behavior that he is deeply ashamed of today. Heather Armstrong just arrived from London, where she operates her massive criminal empire. The geography aligns perfectly. I am almost certain that Heather is Andre's ex-girlfriend from his wild days in Europe. Think about the narrative potential here. A young, grieving, vulnerable Andre falls into the arms of a beautiful, dangerous, and intoxicating woman like Heather. Their relationship was likely incredibly toxic, fueled by grief, adrenaline, and dark secrets. Andre eventually escaped that life, returned to America, cleaned up his act, and married the woman of his dreams, Danny. But a woman like Heather Armstrong does not handle rejection well. She does not let her property walk away. Now, she has tracked him down in Fairmont Crest, and she is using his new perfect life as leverage to torture him. The psychological warfare she is waging is absolutely brilliant from a villain's perspective, but it makes me sick to my stomach for Andre. He is facing the absolute devil, and he doesn't even fully realize the magnitude of the threat yet. He thinks he is dealing with a ghost from his past, an old flame who might blackmail him. He has no idea that this woman is the Impaler, a merciless crime lord who has already ordered hits and orchestrated the red market. Andre is entirely out of his depth. He cannot possibly anticipate the lethal, calculated plans of a woman who runs a criminal empire. And the dramatic irony of this entire situation is simply too delicious to ignore. Wait until Danny and Andre show up at Joey Armstrong's house for dinner. Let us not forget that Heather was adamant that she, Vanessa, Joey, and Danny all have dinner together. Picture this explosive scene. Danny, completely oblivious to the danger, linking arms with her husband, Andre, as they walk through the grand doors of Joey's estate. They step into the opulent dining room, the crystal glasses clinking, the atmosphere seemingly elegant and refined. And there, sitting across the table, with a predatory, knowing smirk on her face, is Heather. I can already see the blood draining from Andre's face. The absolute shock, the paralyzing fear, the desperate realization that the woman terrorizing him via text messages is sitting right across from his wife, pouring wine and laughing about the weather. Heather will be sitting there, kicking him under the table, making subtle, terrifying inside jokes about Europe and champagne that only he understands. It will be a masterclass in psychological torture. Will Andre be able to maintain his composure? Will he excuse himself and have a panic attack in the bathroom? Or will he completely snap and cause a massive scene, leaving Danny utterly confused? This brings me to the fascinating, deeply flawed dynamic of Danny and Andre's marriage. Danny is absolutely going to notice that Andre is acting. She knows her husband. She will see the sweat on his brow, the shaking of his hands, the distant, terrified look in his eyes. She will ask him what is wrong, begging him to confide in her. And Andre will lie to her. He will look his beautiful wife in the eyes and fabricate a story to protect her, to protect their marriage, and to hide his shameful past. But here is where the hypocrisy becomes almost poetic. Andre will lie to Danny about his European stalker in the exact same way that Danny has been lying to Andre about her filthy, secret affair with Bill Hamilton. We all know that Danny hooked up with her ex-husband in that elevator during the tornado. She has been walking around, suffocated by her own guilt, projecting her anxieties onto Haley, and lying through her teeth to Andre every single time he tells her how much he trusts her. They are both keeping massive, marriage-destroying secrets from each other. They are living in a house of cards, and Heather Armstrong is the gust of wind that is about to blow it all down. I cannot help but feel a mixture of intense pity and frustration for both of them. Danny is so consumed by her own guilt over Bill that she is completely blind to the fact that her husband is fighting for his life against a European crime boss. If Danny wasn't so distracted by her own infidelity, she might be able to see the very real physical danger her husband is in. And Andre, so desperate to be the perfect husband and escape his past, is refusing to ask for the right kind of help. By keeping Smitty in the dark about the full truth and avoiding the police, Andre is walking right into a slaughterhouse. What are the possible outcomes for Andre here? Let us speculate on his fate, because the options are incredibly grim. Possibility number 1, Heather is simply here to ruin his life out of pure vindictive jealousy. She wants to expose his dark past to Danny, destroy his marriage, and leave him with nothing, proving that he can never truly escape her. Possibility number 2, Heather wants to recruit him. She knows his skills, she knows his past, and she needs a loyal, compromised pawn in Fairmont Crest to help her expand her plasma ring operations right under the noses of Elon and Jacob Hawthorne. By holding Danny's safety over his head, Heather could force Andre to become an unwilling accomplice to the Impaler's crimes. Possibility number 3, and the one that terrifies me the most, Andre could end up dead. If Andre pushes back too hard, if he tries to outsmart a woman who has built an empire on blood and plasma, Heather will not hesitate to eliminate him. We have already seen the collateral damage the Impaler leaves behind. Just look at poor Derek Baldwin. Heather is a cunning, manipulative sociopath. If Andre becomes a liability rather than a useful plaything, she will dispose of him without a second thought, and she might just frame someone else for it. Could she frame Bill Hamilton? Could she frame Joey? The possibilities for destruction are endless. I am praying for Andre, but I fear my prayers will not be enough to save him from the devil herself. He is walking a tightrope over a pit of vipers. Heather Armstrong is not just an ex-girlfriend with a grudge. She is a lethal predator who views human lives as disposable commodities. The moment that selfie was taken at Uptown, the trap was officially sprung. Andre is caught in a web of deceit, paranoia, and imminent danger. As a fan, I am on the absolute edge of my seat. The upcoming dinner party at Joey's house is going to be one of the most iconic, stress-inducing episodes in the history of this show. The silent conversations, the hidden threats, the sheer dramatic irony of Danny sitting between her lying husband and the crime boss who is actively hunting him. It is soap opera perfection. Will Andre find the courage to confess to Danny before Heather drops the bomb? Will Danny's own secret about Bill come out in the crossfire, leading to a mutual destruction of their vows? Or will Heather's grand plan be interrupted by Smitty's relentless? Whatever happens, Fairmont Crest will never be the same. The collision course between Andre's hidden past, Danny's present infidelity, and Heather's criminal future is guaranteed to produce an explosion of epic proportions. Keep your eyes peeled, because the devil wears designer clothes, drinks mimosas at Uptown, and goes by the name of Heather Armstrong